I think my biggest lesson that I've learned over the past 3 years, is that I love people because people always have a story, and that's why I love getting to know people. Like, I love how humble I am. I love how I can just like vibe or just hang out with anybody and not care about certain things. I love getting people to like open up to me and talk about stuff. But also realizing that I have to try now to spend time with people that align with my thoughts and kind of like what I'm looking forward to do. And I know what that is. I'll probably share it later. But, you know, it's like I've just realized that I've been kind of wasting my time, like, dealing with people that are constantly doing the same shit, aren't changing. And me, like, I can't just continue to be in that space. So, shout out to me. I feel like the biggest thing, another big thing that I've learned is like attachment is so outdated for me, like attaching myself to anything. I think I've lost enough to know that there's no point in doing that. Life is about a series of moments. Nothing lasts forever. I was once a baby. Now look at me now. I mean, that is a miracle. I was once a little baby. I feel like nobody takes time to think about these things. And because of that, I've watched myself grow. I have all these beautiful memories. And I really now just want to create things and focus on creating things and be around people that are like-minded, while also being so open to meeting new people. Because why I really love to meet people is because they always have a story to tell me. And I feel like I've loved this since I was like a child. I would just go around, observing people, looking at people. And then at one point, I started getting stories. My grandmother used to tell stories. And just like stories from like the Caribbean and stuff. So I've always loved this story. Maybe like my mom has a lot to do with that too, because she would always read us bedtime stories. When you have just like a beautiful childhood, shout out to my mom. Even though like I grew up with a single mother, but I grew up in my extended family, my grandmother, grandfather, cousins, uncles. You get the point. So yeah, I feel like the biggest thing or the best thing is being able to put stories out there, like out on the screen, because that's what mainly everybody is doing these days. You're constantly on your phone, and I think more importantly is so people that really take it in. I want people to really take it in. So it's not just watch and like, oh, that was great, and move on to something else. If you can relate to it, I feel like it's good for you to take that in. And really, if there's something that you feel like you're missing or you're doing that you could do differently to have a happier, more fulfilling life, that I think is beautiful. And just really stop attaching ourselves to things, attaching ourselves to our jobs, that's like diminishing our health, attaching ourselves to relationships that aren't even working out, attaching ourselves to money, you know what I mean? And just not being happy, because I feel like attachment is a limitation. Choosing is a limitation, but attachment is even worse, like, especially when you're in a situation and it's not like healthy for you, but you choose to just stay in that mindset. So yeah, I feel like it's good to create things to remind people that life is long, yes, but you shorten it when you continue doing the same thing day in and day out. And it's the only memory you have of going to that same job, seeing these same people, parking in the same parking spot for years. And that's sad. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. Oh, and let me just say that these thoughts just came to my mind after watching The After. The After is a short film on Netflix that is 18 minutes, and that's all it took to make me cry because, while watching that, I have a story in my mind and in my heart about somebody that I know personally could relate to that story, and that's really what made it so touching to me. Um, so, yeah, and it's written by Mason Harriman, starring David Oyelowo. I think I'm saying it right, but you guys should check it out. It's great, very touching, and I think he's a genius. And David definitely deserves an Oscar, Golden Globe. When I tell you, he acted really good. That's really what I wanted to say. Like, very perfectly in the moment. But I feel like what really makes an actor is when you could really relate to the character you're supposed to play, and he did it perfectly.